Let's dap it up. A lot of people saw this post on Ben Crump, the attorney, Instagram, and immediately got emotional. But if we're going to be real, fair, and intellectually honest, we need to separate what happened legally from what it symbolizes politically. And that's where I want to help you guys out for a second, all right? Because those are two different conversations. First, did Trump sign something into law related to Holocaust victims? Yes, there's no doubt about that. He signed an update to the HERE Act, which helps Holocaust survivors and their families pursue claims for artwork and cultural property stolen by the Nazis. That's a fact. But here's where people get misled. The law is not some giant reparations package where checks are being cut to Holocaust survivors by the US government. It is primarily a legal pathway to recover stolen property, paintings, valuables, family heirlooms, and cultural items that were looted during one of the darkest times in human history. There is no arguing about that. So if someone says, Trump gave Holocaust survivors reparations, but won't give Black Americans reparations, that statement is emotionally understandable, but legally inaccurate. Now, let's get to the part people don't want to discuss. Even though the post exaggerates the law, it still exposes a real issue. America has always and has repeatedly shown it can create systems of redress for historical wrongs, just not when it comes to Black Americans. Let that sit. You want some examples? Japanese Americans. They interned during World War II, received compensation through Civil Liberties Act of 1988. Holocaust-related claims have been supported through various restitution efforts and international agreements. Native tribes have received certain settlements, land, claims, and compensation mechanisms over time. But when it comes to Black Americans, whose ancestors built massive portions of this country through forced labor, whose families endured Jim Crow, lynching, redlining, segregation, discriminatory lending, stolen opportunities, broken GI Bill access, and generational wealth sabotage. We're still debating whether we should even study it. That's what H.R. 40 is. Not reparations, not payments, not land, not tax relief. A commission to study it. And even that struggles to move. Now, let's use common sense, all right? Why is this harder politically? Because Black reparations are bigger, broader, and more uncomfortable. A stolen painting has an owner. A looted sculpture has a paper trail. A seized bank account can be traced. But how do you quantify? Unpaid labor over centuries, broken family structures caused by slavery, land theft, blocked home ownership, exclusion from wealth programs, mass incarceration impacts, educational sabotage, interest lost over generations. That doesn't make it, any less real. It makes it harder for politicians to touch. Because once you admit the damage, then the next question becomes, what are you going to do about it? And that's where both parties often go silent. Now let's talk about Trump specifically. Did Trump personally create this disparity? No. This issue predates Trump by generations. But did he sign law benefiting one historical injustice while no comparable Black remedy exists? Absolutely yes. That is also true. So the real conversation isn't Trump gave money to Holocaust survivors. That's sloppy talk. We got to stop that. The real conversation is, why can America mobilize legal remedies for some historical victims but endlessly delay even meaningful federal action for Black Americans? That's the sharper question. And if we're honest, the answer is political will. No lack of evidence, no lack of history, no lack of harm. Political will. Now, here's my less dap it up twist. We can acknowledge Jewish suffering without minimizing Black suffering. We can support Holocaust justice without opposing Black justice. This doesn't have to be the oppression Olympics. Trust me, I'd rather watch the 4x1 relays, the hundreds, 200s, 400s, and hurdles. But America loves selective morality. Quick to apologize where it's safe, slow to repair where it's costly. That's the real debate. So my final take is this. The Post overstated the law, but it accurately exposed the contradiction. And sometimes a flawed post can still reveal an uncomfortable truth.